The Boardroom, where ideas come through.
The Boardroom, power your idea.
In the previous episode, most of the feedbacks I received centered around how do I get money to start my business. I will give you my honest answer here and now. Without business history, substantial revenue, and established credit, it can be much more difficult for startups to access funding, unlike the established business. Funding is one of the biggest obstacles to starting a new business venture. However, there are creative ways you can go about it. Welcome to the Boardroom. Moses Sihenacho is my name. This episode will expose you to the sources of funds available for startup business ideas. I'll be touching on Walmart a little bit as a case study. Walmart is an American multinational retail corporation that operates a chain of hypermarkets, discount department stores, and grocery stores. Walmart remains the biggest retail operation in the world, with a retail revenue of over 500 billion US dollars. But for easy perspective, Walmart is 44 times the size of ShopRite. Hey guys, before we continue, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please hit the like button and share the video. Don't forget to drop your comment down below. I really want to hear from you. And if you have any business case you want me to treat, or you are a marketing student working on your project or thesis, and you want my input, please feel free to drop your comments down below. Now, before you start looking for funding, have you created your business plan? You need a business plan to explain the kind of business you are going into and the strategy you want to adopt. Your business plan will also determine how much money you need and what it will be used for. Once you have a solid business plan, it will help you have a better approach to the sources of funds that I'm about to share with you. I know you might be saying, what if I don't know how to write a business plan? Please worry not. Just go online and search for an expert to help you out with a token. Now, listen up to find out creative ways of obtaining funds for your startup business idea. Of course, there are multiple sources, but I'm going to tell you 8 ways to fund your business idea. And I will close it up with a Walmart story. I mean, how the founder raised money to start Walmart. But bear it in mind that in most cases, you will have to put something on ground, no matter how little, before an investor can come in. Your idea has to be seen and be convincing enough to attract investors. Now let's go. I will start with the one that is the closest to you. Number 1, personal savings. You already know what that means. The money you have saved over time. Although there are limitations to personal savings, but it's still the easiest and most cost-effective way to provide your own financing for a new business. A lot of business people don't have to wait for money bags to start their business. They started with their personal savings before inviting investors. It's doable. You can try it. Number 2, debt financing. Debt financing is a fancy way of saying loan or a bond. Debt financing is the money provided by an external lender, such as a bank, building society, or credit union. It comes in short and long-term basis. The short term is more commonly used to obtain working capital, while long-term debt financing is used to acquire assets. So you have to decide what kind of debt financing you want. Take note that any debt financing you obtain, you have the obligation to pay back the funds. Number 3, family and friends. This is also self-explanatory. These are monies usually in the form of a loan that you get from either family members or friends in order to help finance your startup or growing business. If you have impeccable character, this will be an easy way to raise funds. If not, then I don't know what to tell you. Number 4, angel investor. An angel investor is also known as a private investor or a seed investor. This person is a high net worth individual who provides financial backings for small startups and entrepreneurs, typically in exchange of ownership equity in the company. Here, what you need to do is to look around and identify some personalities who are likely to invest in your business and approach them with your business plan. You have to make frantic efforts to list all the people you know and begin to talk to them one after the other. If you can't reach them directly, then look for their close associates and talk to them. They will help you reach him. Number 5, venture capital. Venture capital is a form of private equity and a type of financing that investors provide to startup companies and small businesses. Venture capital is believed to have a long-term growth potential. You have to be well prepared to be able to attract venture capitalists. Do you know why? Because he's aware of the common rule of thumb that for every 10 startups, 3 or 4 will fail completely. Another 3 or 4 either lose some money or just return the original investment. And 1 or 2 produce substantial returns. So think about it. Number 6, co-founder. This is someone who joins you to establish business. You both own the company. If you can't raise money all by yourself, then you may need to consider a co-founder coming into the picture. But remember, choosing the right leadership team for your startup business is a delicate process. If you have the wrong co-founder, it can ultimately be more hurtful to your business than having no co-founder at all. But if you must have a co-founder, there are 4 things I want you to consider. A, look for complementary skill sets. I mean, get someone who is very strong in the areas where you are weak. B, discuss vision to know if both of you have the same or similar dreams. Make sure you are on the same page. C, both of you should agree on an exit strategy in case you want to go your separate ways. D, think about corporate culture. Corporate culture is the beliefs and behaviors that determine how a company's employees and management interact. Decide on this, very important. Number 7, crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is a platform that allows you to raise funds from a number of small contributions from many investors. There are 2 kinds of crowdfunding. One is loan-based, which means investors get their money back, but usually with interest. Then the other one is investment-based, which means that people put down their money into the business to buy shares. They see the value of the shares rise and fall, but you don't need to pay back their investment. Now, look at the screen. I have different kinds of crowdfunding portals where you can search for startup funds. These portals are built like social media sites. They connect you to investors and other folks who are willing to help small business owners get their products and services into the market. The last but not the least is business grants. Business grants is money awarded to businesses in need. Unlike loans, they don't have to pay back grants. The money is not being borrowed. and so there is no interest attached to it. Grants are given to businesses with no expectation of return. For our folks in Africa, I have this list for you. 20 business grants for African entrepreneurs and startups. All you need to do is to create a good business plan and apply. Who says at least one of these organizations will not approve your application? Now, any of these 8 sources of funds can work for you depending on what you are looking for and your strategy. But going by a data compiled by Fundable LLC in US, I would like to make a point here. The data says only 0.91% of startups are funded by angel investors, while 0.5% are funded by venture capital. But in contrast, 57% of startups are funded by personal loans and credit, while 38% receive funding from family and friends. Going by this data, it means that personal loan and credit and family and friends are the 2 major sources of funding. So I will dwell on both of them to tell a short story about how the founder of Walmart raised the initial funding to start Walmart. Now, this is the story. Sam Walton is the founder of Walmart. At the age of 24, he joined the military. He married Helen Robson in 1943. When his military service ended in 1945, Sam and Helen moved to Iowa and then to Newport in Arkansas. During this time, Sam had gained early retail experience, and eventually he decided to strike out on his own. So he put up $5,000 of his own money. Remember I talked about personal savings? And then he got a loan, $20,000 from his father-in-law. Remember also that I talked about family and friends. So at the age of 27, Walton purchased a Ben Franklin variety stores in Newport, Arkansas. When he saw the prospects in the business, he decided to form Walmart in 1962. Today, Walmart employs over 2.1 million people. Walmart has over 500 stores around the world, and more than 200 million customers visit the store every week. Now, I would like to encourage you to think in that direction. Stop running around looking for one big investor or the other. Start with what you have. Start small. Going through that route of self-financing will afford you the complete control of your business. So my candid advice to you is to have a very good relationship with people around you so that you can always run to them for support. If you have people to loan you money, then you don't really need an award-winning PowerPoint presentation to secure a loan. Former President Donald Trump, he says, remember there is no such thing as an unrealistic goal, just unrealistic time frame. So keep moving. Thank you for watching. Please share this video with someone who loves entrepreneurship and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Drop your comments. I want to hear from you. Let's know your best way of raising funds for startups. And if you have any business case you want me to treat, or you are a marketing student working on your project or thesis and you want my input, please feel free to drop your comments down below. Thank you again, and bye for now.
The Boardroom, where ideas come through.